Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, welcome again to your essay course, and hopefully that you have actually done your homeworks. I don't call it homework, but actually your what I have discussed with you in the last 3 lectures. For today, our class, our 4th class, is going to have kind of review, a review to all what we have taken in the 1st and the 2nd and 3rd class, and then kind of exercises applying all the strategies that we have taken in the introductory paragraph, in the body paragraph, in the concluding paragraph, and using them and the transition signals, and to apply all of these strategies. So let us start first. This is kind of a main parts of our essay. We've discussed during the 1st and the 2nd and 3rd class these major points, and we have said that an essay has 3 main parts: an introduction, body, a conclusion. The introductory paragraph consists of 2 parts: a few general statements to attract your reader's attention, and a thesis statement to state your main idea. A thesis statement may also name the major subdivisions of the topic, and it may indicate how you will organize the essay. The body of an essay discusses the subtopics one by one, and it contains as many paragraphs as necessary to explain all the subtopics. Before we're moving, let us look at this structure right here. So in this one we have the introduction, and the introduction, as we said, consists of 2 things: general statements and the thesis statement. And the general statement, it is to attract your attention, and a thesis statement to state your main idea. Okay, so here to state your the reader's attention, and here that we're going to talk about one phenomena, okay, like culture shock, for example. And a thesis statement is to mention your point of view. Okay, in the body paragraph, the body of an essay discusses the subtopics one by one. It contains as many paragraphs as necessary to explain all subtopics. So the body, it might contain 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, maybe 2 paragraphs, but at least essay usually discuss 2 complex topics. So at least you need 4 paragraphs to explain these 2 complex topics. You understand what I'm saying now? So in the body paragraph, we said we have as many topic sentences, as many paragraphs here to support your thesis statement. So it's all here to support your thesis statement in the introductory, right here. So these are all the supporting details for your thesis statement. In the conclusion, it reminds your reader of what you have said here in this paragraph. It reminds the 3rd part. It reminds you your reader of what you have said. In it, you summarize your main ideas or paraphrase your thesis. You may also make a final comment on the topic for your reader to remember. So this is actually what we have learned during the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd lectures, and here are some main points that we have discussed, which is the main part of an essay. Again, we have learned how to use logical divisions of ideas pattern to divide the topic into separate paragraphs, and then how to link paragraphs with the transitions. That is, show how one paragraph is related to the next by using appropriate transition words, phrases, or clauses. And the 4th skill, or the 4th thing that we have learned, prepare an outline, and we have discussed this last class. in the third class, how to prepare an outline to organize your ideas before you begin to write. Okay, so here is this slide summarizes the main parts of the essay and the major points that we have learned during the first 3 lectures. For today, we're going to have kind of exercises. We're going to do kind of exercises, and I want you to do it with me, okay? Just to try to think before I do it. We're going here, so all these exercises are located in your textbooks. I have taken all of them from your textbooks, okay? And that is to apply the theories, the strategies, and the skills that we have learned and try to apply it over here. Study the model essay about the influence of Native Americans in modern USA culture and notice its structure. By the way, I have explained to you this example before, but again, I'm going to do it again to assure you about the answers. If you look at the structure of this essay, you will find we have an introductory paragraph, we have body paragraph 1, and body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3, and here is 4. Let us read first the first line and the last line of the introductory paragraph. When the first European came to North America continent, they encountered the completely new cultures of the Native American peoples of North America. So here in this one, it gives us a general idea about the topic of the whole essay. The essay, what the essay is talking about. So it talks about the arrival of Europeans to the lands of Native Americans. And let us read the last one. So Native American here, as a result, Native Americans have made many valuable contributions to modern U.S. culture, particularly in the areas of language, art, food, and government. These are our thesis statement. And again, once you read the first line, you get a general idea. Once you read the last line of the introductory paragraph, you're going to mention the body paragraphs topic sentences. So it's mentioning the areas here that Native Americans contributed to our modern society, or to modern U.S. citizens. The areas of language, art, food, and government. Okay? So, let us see now. First of all, again, this is a transition word. We use a comma after it. This is how to move smoothly and logically to another paragraph. Native Americans left a permanent mark on the English language. On the English language. On the English language. And here it's mentioning. So in body paragraph 1, we need to talk about the first subtopic of a thesis statement. Okay, in the second paragraph, what do you expect the author will talk about? Is going to talk about art. Let us go to body paragraph 2. Although the vocabulary of English is the area that shows the most Native American influence, it is not the only area of U.S. culture that has been shaped by contact with Native Americans. Art is another area of important Native American contribution. So, here we go. So here it talks about the art, which is the second one. Okay, and the third one here is going in body paragraph 3 is going to talk about food. Let us see. In addition to language and art, agriculture, zira'a, is another area in which Native Americans have a great and lasting influence on the peoples who arrived here from Europe, Africa, and Asia. So, agriculture. Imagine look at in addition to. It's also a transition word. Although it's also a transition word. This is how you move smoothly, from one body paragraph to another body paragraph. Okay, so finally, the body paragraph number 4 is going to talk about government. Let us go to body paragraph 4. Finally, it may surprise some people to learn that citizens of the United States are also in debt to the native people for our form of government. Finally is a transition word. See how this is the harvest. هذا هو حصاد المحاضرة الأولى والثانية والثالثة. Now we are able to identify the introductory, the thesis statement, and how the body paragraphs are related to the thesis statement. In the thesis statement, it says that the Native Americans have many contributions to the U.S. modern culture, to the modern U.S. culture, in 4 areas. The first one was English language, the second was art, and the third one was agriculture, and the fourth one was the form of government. In the end, we have the conclusion. How come it's a conclusion? How come I know? Because it starts with in conclusion. In conclusion is a transition signals used to introduce a memorable conclusion. In the conclusion, we summarize the thesis statement and the major points in the body paragraph. We can easily see from these few examples the extent of Native Americans' influence on our language, our form, our arts, our eating habits, and our government. So this is a thesis statement, right? The 4 things that mentioned in the thesis statement. The people of the United States are deeply in debt to the Native Americans for their contributions to U.S. modern culture. Okay, here we have kind of a short examples, questions. How many paragraphs does this essay contain? How many paragraphs are in the body? Well, I will leave it for you. Well, let us answer it together. The first question, the essay contains 6 paragraphs. There are 4 paragraphs in the body paragraph, right? Okay, number 2, underline the topic sentence of each body paragraph and double underline the topic. Note, the topic sentence is not necessarily the first sentence in each or every paragraph. Well, the topic sentences in body paragraph 1, if you look, first of all Native Americans left a permanent imprint on the English language. The topic sentence of body paragraph 2, art is another area of important Native American contribution. The topic sentence of paragraph number 3, in addition to language and art, agriculture is another area in which Native Americans had a great and lasting influence on the peoples who arrived here from Europe, Asia and Africa. The topic sentence of body paragraph 4, finally, it may surprise some people to learn that Americans are also in debt to the native people of our form of government. So question number 3. Notice which noun phrase appears 4 times in the introduction. Circle each repetition of this key noun in the other paragraphs of the essay. Now, let us examine it. So, Native American is the key noun. It should be recycled 5 times in the body paragraph, and it should be recycled 5 times in body paragraph 1, and 4 times in paragraph 2, and 4 times in body paragraph 3, and 1 time in body paragraph 4, and twice in the concluding paragraph. Okay, this is kind of abbreviation, اختصار, the كلمة paragraph, I just made it. Here, abbreviation to body paragraph. Okay, so the major, what is the topic of this essay? The topic of this essay is Native Americans. It's about the Native Americans' contribution. How come I know it's about how come I know the topic? you need to see the repetitive or the repeative words. الكلمات المتكررة خلال introductory body paragraphs with conclusion. So this is how you come the major topic of it. Okay? Cool. Let's move now. Here we have also practice 1, introductory paragraphs. And I want you first to read each of the following sets of sentences. When put in correct order, they will form introductory paragraph. Write each paragraph beginning with the most general statement first, then add each sentence in the correct order until the introduction becomes more specific. Write the thesis statement last. Step number 3, you need to identify the type of introduction. Remember, we have a funeral introduction, we have dramatic introduction, we have interesting introduction, we have funny introduction, we have a story introduction, we have surprising statics or facts introduction, we have historical background introduction. Do you remember all of these? We have covered actually in lecture number 1 or 2. Okay, so this is kind of paragraph. We need to reorder it to make it a related one. If you look at this side, you will find that the order should be like this. The way people greet each other when they meet for the first time varies from culture to culture. In some cultures, people bow, and in others, they shake hands. In English-speaking countries, shaking hands is the custom. If done properly, a handshake gives the impression of strength and honesty, and if done completely, it conveys weakness and dishonesty. A proper handshake has 4 ingredients: pressure, pumps, eye contact, and verbal message. So this is the answer for question number paragraph 1. This is how he can actually, this is the correct order for paragraph number 1. So, as you can see, here is the general statement. This is general statement, right? Because in the introductory paragraph we say that there is 2 sections, 2 things: general statement and the thesis statement. So here is the general statement, and then we have the thesis statement. It's right here. Okay? This is a thesis statement. As you can see, it's just like a funnel. Do you know what is a funnel? It looks like this one. This is a funnel. هذا هو الفيونل. هنا كانت مذكور بشكل عام، ومن ثم ذاقت الفكرة حتى تصبح هنا. Okay, هذا هو الفيونل. Okay, for paragraph number 2, the order is: Mr. X went to Mexico from England to manage a milk pasteurization plant. For 8 months he tried every way possible for 8 months he tried every way possible to convince his workers of the importance of punctuality and feeling and of checking every detail for their work. The response was always yes, 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 yes. Then one day an impressive new pasteurization unit arrived and was installed. To celebrate the occasion, Mr. X decided to throw a big party at the plant. The employees did most of the planning and wrapped the new unit with garlands. And the party was a great success, and everybody had a good time. During the party, one of Mrs. X supervisors, and so it was neither punctuality nor quality checks were any longer needed. Well, I wrote it in short. And the 7th one: this story illustrates the need to understand that doing business in a different culture demands an understanding of the culture. Okay, what is the type of this introduction? Is it a funeral? It's interesting story. Okay, so this story actually illustrates the need to understand that doing good business in a different culture demands an understanding of the culture itself. So we have two different kinds of topics of introduction. The first one, funeral, and the second one, interesting story. Let us move. The third one here, paragraph number 3. In 1967, an earthquake in China killed over 250,000 people. Iran suffered from then 80,000 deaths, and in an average year, earthquake killed 10,000 people worldwide. Scientists keep trying to find ways to predict earthquakes. Currently, under study are 4 main methods of predicting when and where the next big one will occur. So this is type of surprising statistics or facts. We're talking about facts. حقائق. هذه حقائق شمالها مفاجئة. حوالي 250,000 ماتوا في الصين، 80,000 ماتوا في إيران. كل هذه statistics إحصائيات. Okay? بسبب الزلازل. So what type of introduction is it? It is surprising statistic or facts. Okay? Again, where is the general statement? The general statement, you can locate it at the beginning. In 1967, an earthquake in China killed over blah blah blah, and then well, the thesis statement is that when and where the next big one will occur. So the specialist makes try to make some methods to know when or where the earthquake will occur or happen. So this is kind of short exercises reminding us of the 4 different introductory introductory paragraph. We have a funeral introduction, dramatic, interesting, or a funny story. We have surprising status or facts introduction. We have historical background introduction paragraph. Practice number 2 actually highlights the importance of doing exercises and thesis statements. Well, in this one, number A, say, study these thesis statements from 2 different essays on the topic of the status of women in Xanda, an imaginary country. It's untrue country. Just call it whatever you want. One of the essays uses a comparison contrast pattern, اللي هي المقارنة والمناقضة. The other one, a time sequence, chronological order, مثل اللي أخذناها في عام 1970 1980 1990. هذا بنسميه chronological order في الترتيب الزمني. Which statement indicates which pattern? خلينا نقرأ نعرف إما comparison contrast statement، إما الauthor uses comparison contrast pattern، أو إنه استخدم chronological order. خلينا نقرأ أول واحدة. هذا thesis statement. Beginning in World War II and continuing through the period of economic boom, the status of women in Xando has changed remarkably. Okay, what is the pattern of organization? It's a chronological order. How come I know? أول إشي بداية في الحرب العالمية الثانية وثم through the economic boom. So we have different periods. Number 2, although the status of women in Xando has improved remarkably in recent years, it is still very low when compared to the status of women in the countries of industrial world. So although the status of women, although هذه تدل على contrast بالرغم من, okay, although, so it is comparison and contrast. So here is the answer for number A, for letter A. B, in each of the following 2 thesis statements, both the method of organization and the major subdivision of the topic are indicated. Each subdivision will itself become a topic of a separate paragraph in the body of essay. Underline the topics of each paragraph. How many paragraphs will the body of each essay probably contain? نفس الشيء. The status of women هي نفس المثال السابق. We have a few differences. The status of women in Alexandria has changed remarkably in recent years due to increased educational opportunities and changes in the country's laws. What is the probable number of body paragraphs? الآن how many body هذه thesis statement, how many paragraphs it may probably contains. Okay, 2 paragraphs. Number 1, 2 paragraphs, because here it talks about increased educational opportunities, which is right here, and changes in a country's laws, which is right here. Okay? Number 2, the status of women in Alexandria has improved remarkably in recent years in the areas of economic independence, political rights, educational opportunities, and social status. Okay, probable number of body paragraphs. We have 4. How many? أول issue, economic independence, political rights, educational opportunities, and social status. So we have 4. So how many paragraphs do you expect in the body paragraph? We have 4. إذا ممكن we can expect the number of body paragraphs from the thesis statement itself. من خلالها. Okay, you need to look at the subtopics of the thesis statement, the subtopics. Okay, the subpoints. خلينا نحكي. We have main point, the subpoint. Okay, so we have here 4 paragraphs: economic independence, political rights, educational opportunities, and social status. So from the thesis statement, you can expect how many paragraphs you need. Okay, how many paragraphs you need. So please do it again by yourself. Okay, this is for the thesis statement. Now here we have a practice number 3 for thesis statements for logical division of ideas. Okay, do you remember the logical division of ideas? I don't think so. I guess you should remember that. First of all, if you look at A, check the thesis statement that suggests logical division as a method of organization. أول واحدة خلينا نقرأ. Teenagers demonstrate their independence in several ways. In several ways. My 18th birthday was the most memorable day in my life so far. هذه ما إلها خطأ. On their 18th birthday, U.S. citizens receive 2 important rights, responsibility. They can vote and they can sign legal contracts. هذه صحيحة ليه؟ لأنه هو it's talking about 2 important rights. Okay, then he mentions the 2 important rights. Number 4, in most occupants, women are still equal to men in 3 areas: salary, power, and status. What do you think? Is there a logical division? Yes. كيف عرفنا? Because he mentioned that women are unequal. Okay, in 3 areas. شو هن? Salary, power, and status. Your status. Okay. Number 5, living and dormitory offer several disadvantages to first-year students. Is there a logical division? No. ليه؟ لأنه ما حكى how many severals. 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, photosynthesis is a process by which plants manufacture their own food. ما في. A college degree in international business requires a knowledge of business procedure and a knowledge of cultural differences. صحيحة. And so on. This is what I mean by logical division of ideas. Logical division of ideas. ترتيب المنطقي للأفكار. Okay, number B, analyze the following thesis statement. We have note you may want to use one of the topics in this practice or the next for your own essay at the end of the chapter. هون بطلب منا أول خطوة locate the main topic and the subtopics in each of the following thesis statement, then draw books around the topic, underline the subtopics, and draw a circle around the words or punctuation marks that introduce the subtopics. For example, he did the first one by itself. Capital punishment should be abolished, not only because it deprives another person of life, but also because it does not stop crime. So here, he drew a box around the topic. It talks about capital punishment, or the abolishment of capital punishment, and then he put a circle around the words or punctuation that introduce the subtopics, and then he underlined the subtopics themselves. And here in number 2, women generally live longer than men for two main reasons. They tend to take better care of their health, and they have better resistance to stress. So we have put actually kind of a square. This is the topic that the women live longer than the men, and here he underlined the subtopics, put 2 lines under the subtopics, and then he circled the punctuation. Number 3 do the same, and number 4 do the same. Does the same. In this example here, this is an essay outlining, and here is kind of below is an incomplete outline of a model essay, Native American influence on modern U.S. culture, on page, just the one we have just discussed in the first, just a few slides ago. Complete the outline by filling in the missing parts. Here is the introduction. Thesis statement. Native Americans have made many valuable contributions to modern U.S. culture, particularly in the areas of language, art, and food. So if you look, this is the thesis statement. Okay? In the body paragraph, you need to actually mention something about the language. Okay, so you put it right here as a topic sentence. Native American left a permanent mark on the English language, and then you mention names of places, names of animals and plants. Okay, and then in the second one right here, you mention something about the art. Art is another area of important Native American contributions. Then you mention something about what kind of arts. Okay, for example, the rugs, the handicrafts, اللي هي الحرف اليدوية. Okay, so we've covered the art. Then the food. This is number C. In food, you mention something about agriculture, and then you mentioned their famous, actually, foods, new foods, like the corn and chocolate, and how they farm the land. كيف بيحرثوا الأرض أو بيهتموا فيها. And D, it should be about the government. Okay, this is C, and government is mentioned here. In the government, you mentioned that it may surprise some of the citizens to learn that citizens of the United States are also indebted to the native people for our form of government, and then you should mention some of the leagues اللي كانت موجودة هناك والأحزاب أيضا. في النهاية, we can easily see from these examples the extent of Native American influence on our language, art forms, or eating habits, and our form of government. هنا كان عبارة عن paraphrase the thesis statement اللي كانت موجودة هنا. قارنوا بينها وبين هذه حتى يعرفوا الفارق. أرجو do the following exercises and share with us on Blackboard to get good scores. Okay, so there's some exercises on page 78 and 79. Just do it by yourself. Okay, there's no grade in that, but there's a grade for the participation. Okay, remember we have 10 grades for your participation, and hopefully that my review was very successful, and I hope that you have understood the major points and the majority of our points, and I hope that these exercises will help you to extend your understanding of essay writing. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.